What's up and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do something a little different for you. I don't know about you, but I love time-lapse videos of people cleaning. So as you can see, first things first, I got to get everything out of the way. Got to get my tent set up, my table, because I'm going to be taking everything out of this shop. I had Memphis and Camley come out and help me, my two daughters. So they really helped out a lot to start with, moving all this stuff outside. I bet you we walked 10 miles back and forth. But you got to make a mess to clean up a mess. When I first started this, I had no idea exactly how long this would take. This was a 3-day event to clean this shop, because not only were we moving parts out, we were wiping walls, cleaning everything that had to go back in, and it takes a while. You need to figure out what you're going to keep and what you're going to throw away. As you can see though, we're lacking a lot of shelving in this shop. We're going to address that though in this video. The main focus for the first half of the day was to get everything out of the shop and start cleaning. So here I'm bleaching and wiping all the walls down. That made a huge difference because they were starting to get dingy and that bleach took it right off. Had a couple of neighbors' kids come over and they helped a little too. Now it's starting to take shape a little. You can see things are starting to become more clean. Also, as you'll see over here, my parts washer has not been used in over 2 years, and we now have this thing cleaned off, back up and running again. So that's awesome. I'm glad to have this thing back. This is a daunting task if you guys have never cleaned anything like this, like a shop that has a million parts in it and they're nasty, they're greasy, they've been stacked on top of each other. You kind of don't know where to go. I'm not the most organized person in the world, but I do like my stuff to be organized, so it's a struggle for me. That poor window over there on the front of the shop had not been opened in years, so it's nice to have it back. There again, just wiping walls again, cleaning. So here you'll see where Michael come over and help me. This was major. I really needed some muscle. I needed somebody with some ideas. So we worked very good together. So we got in here and really started to attack this thing and get everything out of here. All these little bottles of oil and transmission fluid. There were so many of them. They were dirty. They were nasty. We wiped everything down, kind of reorganized. Now you can see the floor kind of coming together. We got a wild hair and decided to run to Lowe's and go get some lumber and build some shelves. This was the game changer, guys. If you've got a pole barn, go grab you some 2x8s, 2x6s, 2x10s, whatever, and just start cutting. All you got to do is make sure they're level and start sticking screws in them. That's the awesome thing about a pole barn. Also, Papa T came by and Renee, they hung out for a little while. Andrew come by. He was a big help. Jumped over there on this table and really started cleaning this thing out. So it was nice to have everybody come by, give some opinions, and help out. You can already see the difference that the shelves make. Things always find a place. If you've got the shelving, you can put something on it. I recommend it because it's better than it sitting in the floor. As you can see, it looked like we were having a party out here, but it was awesome nonetheless. We had everybody out there. The kids were joining in. The wife come out, gave some pointers. So yeah, it was a good night. I want you guys to watch this. So Andrew's over there cleaning off that center table, which was much needed. That table had not been used in over a year. It had all the turbo stuff that come off the Calypso on it, and Andrew is just getting after it. It was so nice. I wasn't even paying attention. Next thing I know, I look over, and Andrew and Berger have got this table cleaned off. It's so cool. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it or not. This table, I allowed the kids to come in and paint and draw on the table when I first built the shop, and then I went in and epoxied over it. So now you can see all that again. In the meantime, I'm over here cleaning everything else off of the top of this other table and adding more shelves, as you can see. It's getting late at night. Berger hung in there with me. We're cleaning out from under these tables. We're really kind of fine-tuning the side of this. And at this point, we were feeling pretty good. The shop's coming around. It's been a lot of work, a lot of back and forth, and we are not the most organized people. I mean, we're both ADHD, so as you can see, we're just all over the place. But it really, really started coming together on this side once we got under these tables and got everything out, because now all we had to do was clean everything up and we should be good. I started on this around 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and we went till about, I think, 11 or 12 o'clock that night. So I was tired. Here you can see we're eating, right back up, getting after it again. A lot of small things were going on right here where we're just kind of tweaking small stuff, but boy, it is starting to come together now. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So we got our RC cars up there. Michael ended up not liking the RC cars up there. Wait till you guys see what he did with them on the other side of the shop. It was awesome. As you can see, Miss Brutal's out there supervising, telling me what I need to change. I can't tell you the last time that shop was this clean on that side. You know, when you have a shop, things are going to pile up, especially if you're building cars and you got parts, because you don't want to throw them away. All car guys are pack rats, so it's going to pile up. You need shelves. Listen to me. If you guys are building a shop, if you already have a shop, if you're building one, make sure you get the shelves added when you build it. If you don't already have them, it's fine. Go out there, get after it, add you some shelves. It is a game changer. Cabinets are great too, but they ended up just getting packed with things and they're not very organized. I prefer shelves over cabinets. Let it all hang out. All right, we're in the home stretch, y'all. We're starting to clean up the floor. We're getting after it. This is looking good. Just wait till you see the final product on this side. There's the final sweep. Couple little small details to clean up. And look at that. There we go. We decided to sit down, watch a little YouTube. Yes, it was one of my videos, but Berger had not seen it yet. So we sat back in the nice clean shop, at least one side of it anyway, and enjoyed the rest of the night. Guys, this was a huge win, but wait till you see tomorrow. With that being said, let's go ahead and see what happens tomorrow. All right, so Berger's neighbor needed an engine. I just so happened to have one, so he come over on his Ford Ranger, and we loaded him up with an engine that used to sit right over there in the corner. That was very important because we needed all the room we could get. Now, this side over here was rough too. Not quite as packed as the other side. Originally, I was not going to go all out on the work side. We call this the work side, the lift side, because we knew we were going to be doing work over here. But it was funny, the more we got into this, the more we really made this our own. This ended up being my favorite side. Now you guys will notice one side's painted and one side's bare. That's the way I like it because chemicals and gases and things like that, I can do it on the bare concrete. And then this one over here just looks a little nicer. It's easier to clean up if you get oil and stuff like that on it with the paint. Look at this table. Watch it transform, y'all. We're wiping. Bam. Look at that. All of a sudden. Can you believe that table still looks that good? All nice and glossy from the epoxy. And at this point, we are feeling it. We know we got this thing licked. So we're getting after it. Started to rain a little bit, so we went ahead and pulled the 65 inside. We're outside cleaning off the old rug. We got to have that thing, so it's getting cleaned up. So here's where everything really starts to change. We start adding shelves on this side, and we had no plan of attack. We didn't know how many we were going to add or whatever. But as you'll see around the windows, there's really no shelving. We ripped all kinds of stuff out, added shelves, and man, did it make a difference. I think you guys are really going to like how this side turned out. We decided to go ahead and add another shelf over here on the other side as well and try to maximize our space as much as possible. Now that shelf's a little crooked and I think we ended up straightening it out. If not, yeah, that's what I was doing right there. It bothered us. It's probably still not perfectly straight, but it's hard to do with these long boards. These things are 10 feet long. There's Berger trying to figure out what we can put up on the shelf. He had a good idea with the mufflers. You know, things that we're not going to use, we put at the top of the shop. As you can see, we're starting to clean out the bottom of the table down here. And this is starting to look really good. But we've got an issue where I have my tires at up here on this top shelf. It's starting to sag pretty bad. We definitely don't want this thing to break and all these wheels and tires fall off on one of these cars. So what we're doing here is just bracing everything up. And we're going to add a shelf right there, just on the underside of the top shelf. Now this took a while because I want this thing to be free floating. So I did not want any boards or braces in the middle of this table. There we go, playing around with the idea of the shelf. And we just don't, guys, we don't measure anything. Only thing we do is measure our cuts. That's it. We don't know where it's going or how tall the shelf's going to be or any of that. This thing turned out great. And don't worry, the middle shelf's going to get some love too. So now you can see that that shelf's a lot more straight than it was. But we've got this engine sitting in the floor over here, and I don't know what to do with it. I was going to take it back to Papa T's house. That's the engine that come out of the Gray Ghost. And I'm just looking at this thing. I'm like, man, I really want to display it somewhere. So that's coming up. Over here, more shelves, right? So now we turn our attention to the middle shelf. It was sagging pretty bad too. Same procedure, just jack this thing up, put some bracing on the underside of this thing. So now we're getting ready for our top shelf to put in. And I wanted to put things that we're not going to use that often up there, because you don't want to be up here trying to reach this. The wheels are in the way and it's really hard to reach. As you can see here, we're playing around jacking the shelf up, trying to get it right. Eventually, I think it took us a couple times, but we got this thing leveled out pretty good. And guys, I think we're good for a few more years without these shelves trying to collapse or anything like that. All right, so we're back over here on the other side. We're playing around with the banners. We're like, should we just hide some of this stuff under here? We're like, nah, let's don't hide it. Let's clean everything out. Let's make this look good. Guys, there was so much metal under here because that's where we do all of our grinding, and everything just gets shoved underneath this table. It was horrible. The dirtiest table that we had was right over there. Ended up being the cleanest. Berger's over here messing with the RC cars. And he's OCD about stuff, and it worked out great. I love the way he displayed the cars and the bodies and everything else. Because, guys, I don't know if you know it or not, but we actively use these RC cars a lot. So the kids are always wanting to run them. We're wanting to run them. So I think that looked really good the way he did this. So at this point, I'm building some braces to set the engine on, and the thought occurred to me, I can put this engine under the table and make it look like it's kind of floating, kind of like a display piece, if you will. And that's exactly what we did here. That was probably my favorite part of the whole build, having that 289 underneath the table for display. That pretty much started it all for me. You know, that 289 was in the 65, which is what really kind of got me into cars whenever I was in high school. So to have that thing under there looks awesome. As you can see over here, we hung all of our AN lines up right by the main door. And now we're over here just kind of cleaning the pegboard up, rearranging some stuff. That's also one of my favorite sections back there because it gets all the AN line up where we can see it. When it was on the pegboard, we could never find it. Back to cleaning, finding spots for everything. And guys, we're getting close to wrapping this up. It's amazing. Watch the transformation once we start cleaning the floor. We use some Zep industrial floor cleaner, I think is what it is. Also, I went and got a new mop bucket from Lowe's. If you got a shop or a garage like this, go get you one of those industrial mop buckets. They work wonders. And of course, one more shelf, as you can see over here, right behind the ladder. I had to do it. One more for the road, and I think it was worth it. This allowed us to put more paint cans and brake cleaner and things like that in. Final stretch, the short rows, starting to sweep up, blow everything out. Guys, we're getting after it. It is now currently 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:20 in the morning. When we're doing this, we did not realize just how late in the morning it was. But we stuck with it. And guys, this took a total of 3 days to do. Because what you don't see is what's outside. All of these boxes, all of these car parts. It's crazy. I have a video coming up. I'm going to show you the final outcome, the reveal of the shop, and everything that was outside. But here we go. It's time to mop up. And man, this thing is going to transform. Berger, he couldn't stand it. He wanted to mop. He's like, I'll mop. So here you go. So I let Berger go ahead and finish this up. Watch the transformation. Look at this. Guys, tell me when the last time you saw my floor this clean. This makes me happy to come back out here and see my shop like this, almost as good as it was when we first built it. Now we're sitting back admiring our work. Oh yeah, we played with the idea of the couch going back over there, and it just didn't work out. So you'll see that in a minute. But over here, we're installing the nitrous bottle, our mother bottle, over in the corner of the shop. I'll show you that in the video later. So here is the couch. As you can see, the couch just isn't working, y'all. Boop, right out the door it goes. So we love this rug, but it just wasn't working right here. So I went ahead, moved it over to the other side. We wanted to keep that side super clean, nice and neat. And here it comes. This is a really cool shot of the shop, I thought. But this is pretty much it, y'all. I will show you the final reveal video and go through everything. So we come out, finished up the night with a nice little meal, and once again admired our work. Guys, I want to tell you, thank you so much for watching throughout all the years, all the support and everything else. I want to encourage you guys to get out there, do what needs to be done in your shop, your garage, your house, your life. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead, wrap this video up, and as always, thanks for watching.